this is Tom with Sweet and Salty with Tom and Manny. A couple of things to discuss. One, a couple of shout outs. First, Dollar Automotive, best outfit in town. Case in point, had a Santa Fe that I bought from a buddy, low mileage from his mom, and everything ran great for a couple of years. And I'm driving on the 215, and all of a sudden I'm getting a little transmission action, if you will. And I said, oh man, just what I need is a $3,000 transmission bill. So I limp into Dollar Automotive, who's been taking care of my cars for a few years, and dropped it off. And he says, fine, we'll check it out and see what's going on, you know. An hour later, he calls me and says, okay, you're good to go. And I was speechless. And so I said, so what was wrong? He says, oh, it was just a sensor switch. You know, it's $87 or whatever it was. And that, if nothing else, told me, because I know most of the places I would have taken that to, I would have ended up with a new $3,000 transmission. Okay? So when things like that are on the table, you want to know that the guy that's on the other side of the counter has your back, and Mike Doler at Doler Automotive has that. So big shout out. If you need your car just tuned up, if you need major work, whatever, he's fully certified, so it's not going to void your warranty or anything like that. And really great people. And you know, if you like dogs, make sure you say hi to Miss Abby. She's the St. Bernard behind the counter, okay? And so there's my shout out for the day. As you may know, or if this is your first time viewing, you don't know, I'm kind of into this health and fitness thing, and have been for a long, long time. Even when I was a smoker, and I smoked for 46 years, I ran 2 marathons and did numerous triathlons and shorter term races and so on, played tennis every day, and it never, you know, in my mind was never allowing the smoking to interfere with remaining active. And so it's, you know, since I've gotten off the cigarettes, thanks to vaping, don't smoke, vaporize, it's been 10 years, I feel great. So all of the negatives I was experiencing, which weren't significant, but they were there, those are all gone. So it's even my singing voice has improved. Not that it didn't have a lot of room for improvement, but it has improved. So the things that we do for ourselves have a huge impact on our general health and fitness. Remember, the longest lived cultures never saw the inside of a gym, okay? And weren't necessarily, you know, marathon runners or anything like that. In fact, professional athletes have some of the worst mortality rates of any group of people, mainly because, you know, they abuse themselves for many years and then stop. They go home and they sit down, and but they don't necessarily worry about what they're eating. Or when they were young, you know, you can eat anything you want. It doesn't seem to have much of an impact. But with diabetes being the #1 diagnosed condition in this country, and obesity and overweight, 75% of us fall into that category. That tells me there's something seriously wrong, not only with the food industry, but with the American mindset around food. If you are, you know, and I mentioned this in my last short clip, was the difference between suicide and self-destruction is typically just a matter of time. And it's something we humans seem to be uniquely qualified in taking it to its most extreme. And and I guess the pushback I have is, you know, because we have all these choices, even though 97% of them are bad choices, if we can focus on the 3% good choices, then we can have a big impact. Positive acts versus negative acts. One positive act can offset a whole lot of negative acts. So it has great power when you do good things for yourself. You can heal yourself. Physician, heal thyself. Well, citizen, heal thyself. There's a guy that's been around quite a long time. He's a naturopath, formerly a veterinarian. So he's got a broad spectrum of experience. And he started a company called Longevity and was quite famous back in the 90s for his audio tapes called Dead Doctors Don't Lie. And all the evidence bears out everything that he says, so it's not like he's saying anything that would be slanderous, but basically he's saying, if the last place you want to seek to cure what ails you is a medical doctor, I get that, and my personal experience, I've been treated medically maybe 4 or 5 times in my life, and every single time they screwed it up. One time almost killed me, just for a simple appendectomy. And so if I can't fix it myself, it's going to have to be something pretty serious. So obviously if I break an arm, somebody shoots me in the shoulder, whatever, I want to go in and get it taken care of by somebody who's trained to do that. But if I have high blood pressure, if I have diabetes, if I have poor liver function, poor kidney function, poor digestion, arthritis, all those things, pretty much they're caused by chronic inflammation, and that chronic inflammation is usually diet. And so the old saying, you are what you eat, well, you suffer from what you eat. And if you can focus on changing that diet, you're going to go a long ways to living a long and healthy life. What's the old saying? I want to live as long as I want to, and want to as long as I live. Ain't none of us getting out of here alive, understand that. But if you make better choices, you're going to enjoy the years that you do have. So let me just carry that message to you. And don't be a Nimrod. Stop living on fast foods. Stop drinking yourself half oblivious every night. But that's only if you want to live a long and healthy life. If you don't want that, if you're in that self-destruction mode and you feel justified in being there through whatever emotional challenges you're presented with on a daily basis, more power to you. That's your choice. And it's not for me to say that you're making, that you're wrong, if you will. I'm going to let you do it right up into the moment of your own destruction, because that's your choice. And I cannot make choices for you. I can only encourage, okay? So now if you're standing on the edge of a building, I'll try to talk you down. But if you're just not paying attention, and feel justified in that mindset, then I don't have much time or patience for you. But if you truly want to make a change, make those changes for yourself, because the person that's most responsible for everything that's right and everything that's wrong in your life, just look in the mirror, all right? Everyone should carry a little pocket mirror around with them and saying, why is this happening? There you go, okay? So take responsibility, become sovereign, become responsible for your own actions, and do the research, eat right for your type. Dr. Mike Hyman, his pharmacy online channel, he knows, and more doctors are coming around to the idea that food should be medicine as well as enjoyable. So broccoli, by itself, not much flavor, but you put a little seasoning on it, it tastes pretty darn good. So it's those things, and finding out the food sources and where they're coming from and so on. Remember, if it's in a chain grocery store, 90% of those aisles are crap aisles. Nothing but crap lined floor to ceiling, okay? And if you can put your blinders on, just go to the fresh produce, go to the fresh meats, and eat the foods that are highly beneficial for your blood type. I think it's interesting, even COVID-19 recognizes that there's a difference between blood types and your reaction to things. So your blood type, if your blood type O, 44% of the country is, that's the original blood type, caveman, whatever. And so you want to eat a diet that your ancestors would have eaten, okay? But for getting along day to day and stuff, just remember, the only reason you and I are here is because our ancestors were more vicious than the people down the road. And if that's not a sobering thought on where the future is going, I invite you to spend a little time thinking about that. But with that in mind, again, a shout out to the Doler Automotive. Integrity is where they start from, and it shows. And I've been with them for 20 years now. So, but have some self-integrity. Understand that you are in charge of these things that are happening to you. And if you want to prevent a lot of bad things happening to you, focus on what you're doing, what you're putting in your body, and when you're putting it in your body. Okay? So, with that said, this is Tom with Tom and Manny, Sweet and Salty. You have a fantastic day. Commit random acts of kindness and don't smoke. Vaporize.